Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the difference between a normal class and a final class in Java? Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. Before we move to the practical demonstration, let me explain the difference between the normal class and a final class in a theoretical way here first. So coming to the normal class can be inherited by other classes in Java. Okay, if you are creating a normal class, that particular normal class can be inherited by other classes. That means that particular normal class can become a parent of any other classes in Java. Okay, that's the thing. That means normal class. Okay, for normal class, we can create the child classes. Okay, we can create the child classes and implement the inheritance concept where we can make this normal class a parent class of other classes which are going to become the child classes. But coming to the final non-access modifier specified class, if you specify this final non-access modifier before a class, it become a final class. And when this non-access modifier that is final is specified before a class, that class cannot contain any children. Okay, that means you cannot create child classes for the final class in Java. Cannot be. This final class cannot be inherited by other classes in Java. In simple other words, okay. So this is the difference between the normal class and the final class, guys. For final class, you cannot create children. Final class cannot become a parent of any other classes in Java. Final class cannot be inherited by other classes in Java. Whereas normal class, it's possible. Okay. Let me practically demonstrate this and prove you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse ID, guys. After I go to the Eclipse ID, I'll create a new class. I'll just create a new class. I'll just name this class as some name like sample one class. Let's say sample one. Click on finish. Click on finish. Now here, this particular class sample one is one of the class in Java, right? It's a normal class, guys. Okay. This particular sample one class is a normal class in Java, public class name. There is no final non-access modifier specified before this class. Now I'll create one more class. And this particular class can contain some variables and methods. For example, for sample, I'll create a variable and method here. String name is equal to, let's say, my name, I'll give Arun Motori. And here, public void print name. Some sample method also I'm giving. Inside this. Sample variable and sample method I'm giving. System.out.println. I'll just print my name here, okay? Whenever I call this method, my name will be printed. Fine. This is a normal method containing a sample variable and method. It can contain any number of variables and methods. Now I'm going to create one more class inside the same Java file, like class. I'll just name this class as, sample2 class, okay? Sample2 class. Can I make this sample2 class a child class of the sample1 class? Is that possible? For us to make this particular sample2 class a child class of the sample1, let's try that out. Using which keyword in Java we have to make this particular class a child class of the another class in Java using extends keyword. Followed by that, we have to give the name of the class that you want to make the parent. For sample2 class, you have to make the sample1 as a parent. For sample2 class, you have to make the sample1 as a parent. So here sample2 class is a child class of the sample1 parent class. Okay, sample1 is a parent class, sample2 is a child class. Now sample2 is a child class of the sample1. Now you can create any number of children for this sample1 class. For example, if you create one more class, let's say class sample3, let's say, can I make the sample3 class also a child class of the sample1 class? Since it is a normal class, you can do that, guys. You say extend sample1, you write extend sample1. You see, you can create any number of classes and you can make this particular classes child classes of the sample1 class. Normal class can become the parent of any other classes in Java. Okay. For normal class, we can create the child classes. So normal class can be inherited by the child classes. That's possible. But the moment I add this final non-access modifier here, earlier final non-access modifier was not specified before this class keyword in Java. For this particular class, final modifier was not specified. Now final modifier is specified. That means this is a final access modifier specified class. This is a final class. Such kind of final classes cannot be inherited by any other classes. Such kind of final classes cannot contain the child classes. Such kind of final classes cannot be a parent of any other classes in Java. You see, already I'm getting an error saying that the type sample2 cannot subclass the final class. Since it is a final class, you cannot make this particular class a parent of the sample2, or you cannot make the sample2 a child of the sample1. Because sample1 is a final class, it cannot contain the child classes. It cannot be a parent of any other child classes. It cannot be inherited by any other classes in Java. So this is what is the final, guys. This is what is the final all about. Okay, final class cannot be inherited by the child classes. There cannot be any child classes for the final class. That's what is the difference between the a normal class and a final class in Java. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.